There's everything wrong about many things that we do. And it is high time that as leaders, especially political leaders, we come to the realization that we must not only be seen to be talking, but we must be seen to be doing what it is that we talk and we say. When it comes to words, I can give it to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And he makes very good sound bites that can really motivate you to think that we have arrived. If it is in my government that you want to make money, then stay out, because that is not what is going to happen. Soul sourcing is bad. It's going to be, he classifies soul sourcing as being equivalent to what? Corruption. And that it will not happen, even though the law allows for what? Soul sourcing if you go through the processes. But this was seen as bad, as avenue for corrupt acts. He talked about many things. Family and friend became a matter.
Yes, obviously now it is worse. Soul sourcing is worse than before. But the question is, what do you find? What do you find wrong? Particularly listening to Kwame Sapong-Asiedu, the list of things that you need for maintenance of an ambulance.
Yeah. That is why I'm saying that if he succeeded in running away with all these things, the next, and I listened to Francis Poku, Honorable Francis Poku, when he spoke the last time, that
former National Security
Coordinator, that look, many Ghanaians are just having hope that the next administration will take the rightful decision to reset Ghana. And that is why many have not acted in some ways.
Like Kenya.
We will be found wanting, and it will be disastrous if we make a mistake from 2025. And so all these things that we read and see should awake us the more. And that is why, in many times, I would come to that. I don't want to go to that point, then people will say, I'm making a proposition for my party or what have you. But clearly, we must have this at the back of our minds, that the country is boiling.
You can't take the people for granted.
You can't take the people for granted anymore. You can't. These things cannot happen.
You, the politicians, we mean.
Look, and not just the politician. You see, sometimes this thing, Public Accounts Committee have gone into it. We raised it. We've done our report. That report is, though, yet to be taken on the floor. It's yet to be taken on the floor. We went into it, and they could not provide answers to this. And it's very well captured in our report. And I'm happy that Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa has taken this to the next level following the contract that was signed by Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta for the $34.9 million service agreement with this very company. And that is what has brought these issues up for even further discussion.
The point of suspicion is that he signed and ensured that the payment was made 5 days before he left office. Why should that raise suspicion? He's in office. He must be working until the last day.
You see, when you look at the figures involved, first and foremost, when you pick the Auditor General's report that you read and you look at page 24, paragraph 46, it talks about the insurance that should have covered some of those ambulances.
Yeah. And
in talking about the insurance, it said the agreed figure was 10%. And the cost of the ambulances was $80,000. So the 10% premium insurance was $8,000 per ambulance. So if the cost of the ambulance itself is $80,000, why on earth will anybody sign an agreement for just services to be rendered to an ambulance which costs 80,000, and if you do your calculation, the cost per ambulance is almost about almost 125% of the real cost of the ambulance. It doesn't make sense. Straight away, it should raise concern. And for an exiting finance minister to be in a rush to sign such a deal and authorize payment, why? Was the F crashing?
By the $34.9 million, maintenance per ambulance will be $113,695,000 US dollars,
which is about 33,000 plus more than the cost of a new ambulance, which was quoted here as $80,000. So it should tell you something. You should be worried. Yes, he's in office. But if you look at the figures, and then you see the rush with which payment was made, and when you observe that many other companies are not being paid. Look, Indum's bank and the problem they had, is it not because a lot of persons they lent money to were not paid by government? Some of the contractors who took money from them were not paid, and so he suffered. Now he's lost his bank. If you look at the speed at which money was made available to this inexperienced company to service our ambulances, something was happening somewhere, and that is absolutely not right.
It could be coincidence.
Well, something then
that they are lucky to be paid within a short time.
Then the coincidence is just too much. Like yesterday, Bank of Ghana appeared before us when we were looking at the foreign exchange receipts and payments. We observed that in a particular table, the Gold Key company that was building their headquarters in both 2022 and 2023 received the highest payments when many other companies are receiving nothing. In 2022, they received over $35 million. In 2023, they received over $82 million. Meanwhile, Ofanko to Nsawam Road received nothing for 2023. So because they have control over the funds, they decide what to do with it.
It is disbursed arbitrarily. That's what you're suggesting.
That's what I have said.
Okay,
and
so
that is what the finance minister sought to do because of the relationship that is being exposed now, the connection, the links.
Let me take my